Joining us this morning, this is very exciting. We're going to welcome a new guest. Gary, we're going to have you introduce yourself in a moment, but you're from Black Ash Sportsman Club, and we appreciate you being with us here this morning. So tell us who you are.
Oh, well, thank you, Luke. Like he said, my name is Gary Glunt. And I've never been on a podcast before, so I'm not exactly like so sorry, Luke, before I start, where do I look? Do I look?
You just look at me.
Right.
It's like sitting at the breakfast table having a conversation. So.
All right, gotcha that. So my name is Gary Glunt. I am on the board of directors at the Black Ash Sportsman Club. And we are here to talk about a couple of things that we do, especially the Winter Skeet League. And I'm involved with some other activities. We do a ton of stuff at the Black Ash Sportsman Club. But that's who I am. I'm a retired teacher, taught for 30 years.
What'd you teach?
Business.
Did you?
Yes. Very fortunate to be able to teach business, and that favorite class I ever taught was my finance class. Love teaching finance, love talking about finance, that type of thing. Businesses, love trying to teach people how to start businesses, that kind of thing.
It's funny because we were talking before coming on. You actually owned a business as well, so I mean,
yes,
that's great. Not only did you teach, but you
we've owned a couple.
Okay.
So currently we have apartments, and so that's our main thing right now. And that but enjoy it a lot. Love business. Love that kind of stuff.
That's great.
That's
that's one thing that when I went to school, you had like the business kids, you had the VOTEC kids, you had the athletes, and I look back sometimes and I wish the stress of the importance of all of those things could have been combined, because you need to have a little bit of business. You're running your household. You don't have to own a business, right? But you run your household. There's
Huge.
a lot of important things. My wife, who manages the bank downstairs, goes into the schools, and this is how you balance a checkbook. This is how you fill out a check.
Absolutely. And so some good news, and that I retired about a year and a half ago, and this past year, the state actually passed a law through that says every school must offer financial education, and it has to be a standalone class. So, man, just a little plug here from an old finance teacher. Don't let them chop it up in your school district, right? And because schools will do that, right? They'll be like, oh, we can get away with, we'll put a little bit over here, we'll put a little bit over here, but the state said it has to be at a standalone class. So I'm a huge supporter of it, right? I can't tell you how many times. I know we're not talking about Black Ash here, but I could go all day. You always hear, well, when am I ever going to use this?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're going to use it every day. Here
Absolutely.
you go. If you want something, you're going to use every day. Here it is.
That's right.
Yeah. So
good. Well, we'll have to have you back for that conversation.
Would love it. Love it.
So how'd you get involved in Black Ash?
So I wanted to be a better duck hunter, a better duck hunter, a better goose hunter. And it's a long story. We could be here forever. But my parents actually bought the old Black Ash Sportsman's Club before it became the new. So I actually live at the old Sportsman's Club, which I just find incredibly awesome. Now I'm on the board of directors of the current Black Ash Sportsman's Club. So anyway, I wanted to be a better duck hunter, pheasant hunter, whatever. And I couldn't hit anything to move. So I was like, I better go learn how to do this, right? So showed up at the Black Ash Sportsman's Club one day. I want to give a shout out to Earl Brown, because without him, I'd still be missing things.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So he took me under his wing, and he said, hey, he goes, let's work on this. And he really, really helped me. And so
now, how long did that take? Or is it still a work in progress?
It's always a work.
Okay.
I am not a natural shooter. There's some guys that are just plain natural shooters, but I have to work at it. So like I haven't shot since last year, since the summer.
Okay.
And so now with the Winter Skeet League, and we're starting, and I'll shoot, and I'll start off, and I'll miss a good many birds, but then by the end, I'm starting to get into moves. So I'm not a natural shooter. I have to work at it. Yeah.
See, we follow high school sports and cover sports, and you get to towards the end of the year, and you go, "Boy, I wish they could play this way
Yes.
all season.
Yes,
But
absolutely. Well, and speaking of which, just a huge shout out to the trap organizations. They started the Scholastic Trap, and we have a number of high schools in our area that
That's
have trap
great.
teams. And
Maplewood's one, right?
yes, Maplewood's one. We host Maplewood as we're their club
Okay.
that they shoot at, and I'm ecstatic that they've done that. What a great way to get young people and talk about I'm cheap, okay? So I want bang for my buck, right? Where else can you go spend 2 hours, right, and actually do something for as little as it actually costs? Now don't get me wrong, it's getting more expensive, components are getting more expensive, shells are getting more expensive, that kind of thing. But I mean, if you look at it, you go to a movie and me and my wife and I go to a movie, right? And I don't know, by the time we're done, we're at $40 or something like that.
Yeah.
And
that's just the popcorn.
That's just exactly right. So a round of trap and another thing that we do at the club that I absolutely love is and I'm a champion of this, I think, and that is we want to try to make it as economical as possible in a family to be able to come shoot. And that we want the young kids to come out and shoot and have a fun and learn a sport that that anybody can do. And it doesn't matter your skill level. You can do it, right? We have handicap shooters, and not so much anymore. We used to have a couple of handicap shooters. They've gotten older, but we've had guys in wheelchairs who come out and like they're breaking more birds than I am.
Wow!
And I'm going, this is fantastic. Like in the Winter Skeet League that I run, kids shoot free. All right, so
wow.
Yeah, kids shoot free. We don't charge them for their targets. They have to buy their shells, and that kind of thing. But we're trying. If dad's going to shoot, mom's going to shoot, which we hope, right? And that we'd love to get ladies involved, we're trying to make it economical so they can do it.
That's fantastic.
Right?
Yeah,
because it's just so much. It's just so difficult to. I mean, you've got 3 shooters shooting now. Now you're at $100 a pop. Depending on how many rounds you shoot and so on. Yeah, so
that's great.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I of course biased here, but our club does so many things, and the cost is so minimal. Like I grew up in Pittsburgh. If you haven't figured out by I don't know if I've said a gnat enough times yet.
I should give you my cup then.
That's well, trust me, I seen your stuff,
okay.
And I was like, all right, I like this guy right from the start. Like the number of things our membership's $25, right?
Oh wow,
$25 for the year, right? And
what does that do for the club?
The $25?
Yeah.
So the $25 covers our cost, right? It covers our operating expenses, all right? Then we have events to try and bring in some more money so that we can do things like, hey, the kids shoot free, right? So like we had a gun raffle, okay? We do a meat shoot, okay? So the gun raffle, everybody knows what that is, and then so that money goes into our general fund. And then, we can use that for activities that we can help, defray the cost of whatever it is, or start something new. A meat shoot it's something that used to be called turkey shoots, and it's neat. I never did one before last year, and one of the other guys championed it and ran it. And you go out, you get like 20 shooters. There's pie plates like 20 yards away. It might be a different distance. I'm not sure how far the distance is. And you get a shell from the club. The club gives you a shell. You put it in your gun. You shoot at the plate, and there's an X you can't see on the back of the plate. And whoever's the closest to that X with a BB wins whatever it happens to be. Like if it's a package of steaks, or if it's a ham, or if it's a turkey, or if it's a pork loin, or what have you. And
wow.
And it's just fun. Just a fun day. And again, like that one, so half of that proceeds on that we donate to the Maplewood Trap team, and then the other half goes to the club again to do something else, maybe maintenance or what have you. And that is that our pistol? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dwayne Kohler.
Yeah.
He's
and so just some things that the club has, like for your $25, you get the rifle range. All right, which is what the biggest draw usually is of the club is the rifle range. Okay, we have a 200-yard rifle range, but the other things that we do, so we have a summer skeet league and a practice league. It's called the George Piazza Summer Skeet League. He was a longtime member at our club, did a lot for our club, and so. It's a mix. You can just shoot practice. You can just play around, try to work on something, or you can shoot in the league, and you can do both. Okay, and that's when we kind of like to get our new shooters in and help them out, right? It's one of the things when I first started. You're like, man, I don't know what to do here. I don't, and how do I go about this, right? But our guys want to help people, and everybody, and maybe we're too willing to help. Like maybe we might be overbearing. They might want to say to us, "Hey, you know what? I think I can do this on my own." But we don't want people to struggle. We want them to come out. We want them to try to, if they want to get better, try and help them get better. Kind of thing. We have the pistol range, which we just put a new cement pad in on it. We put movable targets in on it.
Oh wow!
Before they were static at a distance, but like some people wanted to shoot at 15 yards, some people want to shoot at 20 yards, and so we moved it back and forth. We have handgun courses. We have 225 handgun courses and or rifle courses. So one is you use 22 handguns on. The other one you can use any caliber on, and they're through the woods. You walk through the woods and there's targets up, metal targets up. We have a thing called the golf course, right? So it's 18 targets, and it's for 22 rifles, and you play golf. How many times does it take you to hit each target?
Oh, that's cool.
Right, it's really fun. One of the things that I never knew, it's hysterical. You're board of director there, and you're like, when did we do this, right? And we have a, it's a fancy name, but it's really, you're shooting, so the name is, Carl kill me. Carl Polino just retired as our president. Fantastic president, great guy. But he does they're called NRA silhouette targets. And so they're like ducks, they're metal ducks. It's like the old arcade games, right? You click and you hit them and boop, they fall over. And so we have, they use meters, right? And I don't know meters, right? So 50 yards, 70 yards, 80 yards, 90 yards, 100 yards. And they have like double banks of targets. So they have like two sets of ducks and then two sets of pheasants and two sets of rams.
Wow.
And it's like you're in an arcade with a real rifle, and I forget all the different calibers you're allowed to use in this league. It's a league, but you don't have to shoot the league. You can just go and shoot it, and that's what I do. I don't shoot the league. I just go and take my 22 out and I plink at them. It's so fun. It's like you're at a, and then we do a youth pheasant hunt. We have I think it's called, we just got in it last year, the Erie Crawford Skeet League. And so that one I think has like 7 or 8 clubs in it, and you shoot at other clubs in that, and of course there's the prizes or whatever at the end. We do a winter skeet league. We do the youth pheasant hunt. We do something to keep an eye on. All right, at our website, blackashsportsman.org, is we have an activity section listed, and I started a night shoot where we turn our lights on at night, and
oh, cool.
Oh, and we buy special targets, right? We buy the targets that when you hit them, they don't explode, but they poof, right? So you get this big cloud of smoke in the air when you hit them, and then we do that with the skeet and the trap. So I'm planning on doing that, like February and at March, that kind of thing. But
now, do you also have a presence on Facebook?
So yes, we do.
Okay.
But I'm not a real techie guy. I anymore. I had to be when I taught, but now I kind of stay away from it a good bit. Yeah, there we go. So the website is more up to date, I think, than the Facebook page.
Okay.
In fact, we just had our. If you click on the winter skeet scores, it'll show you we just had our first shoot. All right, so let's talk a little bit about. I'm not sure how much time we got. Like 5 minutes.
6 minutes. Let's do
right.
this real quick. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Gary Glunt with us here this morning, talking about Black Ash Sportsman Club. A lot going on, and before we wrap things up, we'll circle back to the youth side of things because that's going on, and we want to know how you can get involved. Do they need to show up, call, register online? We'll get to that in a moment.
Gotcha.
But you wanted to go back to.
So I want to, I hardly have talked much about the Winter Skeet League. Okay. So the Winter Skeet League we shoot every other Saturday, starting the first Saturday of the year. Okay. So we've already had our first shoot, but it doesn't matter with our league. You can actually sign up the last shoot and shoot all your shoots back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can shoot ahead and you can shoot forward, all right? Because, we know that people are busy. So, maybe you got something going on a weekend that we're shooting. So, if you want to shoot 3 shoots, you want to shoot 2 shoots, you want to shoot 4 shoots, you can shoot whatever you want and still be in a league. So you can come out the last shoot and join the league.
Oh, wow.
Shoot all 6. Now, no one does that just because it would be a long day for you. But but you could, so...
but that's through when?
March. So whatever the second Saturday in March is.
Okay.
I think it's the 18th, 15th, something like that. And we have a bunch of divisions. So we have a senior division, so 62 and older. We have what we call the open divisions. So we have A, B, C, and D class. We have a ladies division, and we have a youth division. And everybody is in competition for their division. And then the grand prize is whoever has the highest score over all 6 weeks. And we call that the High Gun Award. Okay. And we give prizes out. The locals, I want to give a shout out to Hoppies down here.
Yeah.
Hoppies has been a great supporter of us. And Wagner's has been a great supporter of us, and that Fat Chad's, and I hope I don't. I know I'm going to miss people. The printing. Oh gosh, am I
Pro Threads or
no
Birches?
The little place on the Titusville Street going out of town. Right there. Gosh, I know that it's on the tip. I say it all the time. Anyway, but a big shout out to those, and we give those prizes out to our shooters at the end. Mm-hmm. And plus the prizes that we buy for them. So every week there's a door prize. So you put your name in the bucket, and somebody gets a name pulled out of the bucket. So it's a great time. You do not have to be a good shooter at all, and you can still win your division, right? So let's say you're not a very good shooter, right? You're gonna be in D division, okay, A, B, C, D, all right. And if you're a female, you'd be in the female division. If you're a youth, you're gonna be in the youth division, which is anybody in high school, all right. As long as you're in high school, you're a youth, okay. We don't do the 18-year-old thing, so let's say, and we give you a handicap. So at the end of the season, when we're doing our final last shoot, if you shoot a really good round, you can actually win your division.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it's so fun. And again, we're just out having a good time. When we say league, we mean we got a bunch of guys together having fun. And I should say people. I'm from Pittsburgh, so you know that everybody's guys. It doesn't matter who you are. That's
Yinzers.
The Yinzers.
Well, I was just looking at the activities part of the website, and I mean the list is like this big of things that you could get involved with.
It's true, and and we want to add on as much as we can.
But is that sort of dependent on who's involved?
It does.
Okay.
It depends.
Like a lot of organizations.
Exactly. So we tell folks, if you want to do something, bring it to us, and champion it. If you're willing to run the show, we'll do it. So like one of the things that has been mentioned is doing some archery. Okay, and we don't really have an archery set up. Okay, but I just talked to a guy the other day and I said, hey, if you want to run it, you set it up, you bring it to us, tell us what we need, and we'll see if we can get it done. And that we just try to stay ahead. Try to keep it going.
Real quick, just recap the youth part of this. Mm-hmm. It's free of charge.
Yes, free for kids. And we have a lot of kid activities. So we do the youth pheasant hunt, which is free. It is if you've never pheasant hunted, or if it is so worth doing. Okay, we usually only have 12 spots open for that.
Oh, wow.
Right? But you hunt over a dog with people with trained dogs, and if you
that's amazing to watch.
Oh my gosh, it is, and just amazing, right? Then with the youth thing, we do a youth conservation camp that we sponsor. So I think it's the Pennsylvania Federation of Sportsmen's Council is the one who runs it, and they do it at our club. So it's an activity for kids. It is fantastic. And that Bob Schoenfeld, I don't know if anybody knows Bob, but Bob Schoenfeld runs it. Some of the things we did last year, went to the National Wildlife Refuge. The kids learned about like invasive species. And we tested water to see if the water was good water, bad water. What was living in it. They dug bugs out of the mud, and we went to the Rocky Mountain Elk down in Benezet to see the elk and have a work with the. I don't want to take too long, but work with the. I forget what the guy's title was, but he was like in charge of making sure the elk area was where it needed to be, the habitat, all that kind of stuff, and so and then we made duck houses, right? So for duck breeding houses and the kids got to take them home, put them in their ponds if they wanted to put them in their ponds, that kind of thing. And so all kind of different things. It's a week-long thing. Trying to think without youth. Every activity we have, I think, has a youth division in it. So like if you do the handgun league, there's I think a youth division in the handgun league and that kind of thing. But don't hold me to that one there.
Well, Gary, we're gonna have you back because there's a lot of great information. Go on the website, check out Facebook, but become a member, take advantage of it. It's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you also, Luke.
Take care.
Appreciate
Thank you
having me.